Hey guys, it's James bringing you another Wigan roundup. So we start here today playing Marseille. This is our second pre-season game. Nathan D'Alfonso and Daniel Johnson, you couldn't make out there, but two very, good cheap players. Daniel Johnson I bought, he was 63. Got all the ticks for me, game face. But I just wanted to start here with the sped up play. So Marseille, straight from the kickoff, had the ball. We tried to defend. You can see the players just jockeying around, trying to form that back line. And then they actually have a good chance, a good cross. Could have gone to something, but I'm not going to speed this play up for the whole time. I want to show you. So I'm going to stop the play now, and then Berahino's going to cross it in, and look, he's on the end of it, NILE Ranger. So he's a new striker, the striker that I talked about before, being controversial. He had lots of chances for his clubs, didn't he? And it just shows, this player is an all-round player, 6'2". He's got a bit of strength and beef behind him, and he can just do a good job, can't he? We don't have a lot of strikers in that mould in the Premier League that are English, do we? But Marseille have a really good chance, and that could have gone in. But Segrist, he wasn't worried there. And at the end of the half, we decided to make a couple of changes because it is a pre-season. Would make 3 changes right on the half-time. So this is the final team that I put out for the second half. One of my key strikers, Makinok, would be playing in that lone striker position there, and Goburn and Watson would come on. So yeah, it's good. I'm still using Ben Watson. He's a very good player. I just want to keep the Wigan in this team, So, I might have sold a couple of players, but I still want to keep a few of them, like Leon Barnett, even though he hasn't been in Wigan for a long time. But what I thought I would do is I would show you just a quick play of me playing around my normal football, So we're working our way around the field. Daniel Johnson to D'Alfonso, he's a very fast striker, 91 pace. And then Fokkerball, he's going to get the ball, he's just going to pass around, make some space. He's running away from the defenders, making a bit of space. Players are making good runs. Ben Watson will cut inside and take that shot. It wasn't the best shot, but that's just how we play. We play with a bit of swagger. Segrist with the goal kicks, and then that's worked for us a lot last season, just the header-offs from Makinok. He's a 6'7" striker. Goburn to D'Alfonso. I always cut inside and then shoot, and that always seems to trick every FIFA defender, so you might as well do that. Marseille actually have a really good chance. We tried to header it out, but we conceded a penalty. We gave away a penalty. I don't know how that was a penalty, but they have a little pushy match. As you can see here, Andre Ayew, one of my favourite players, hits the bar from the penalty, and now we've got a counter-attack. So Berahino to Makinok, and I thought, 83, 84 minutes, I'll give Makinok a bit of run. We'll try to, stall it. And I did question myself doing that because it is a friendly. You just want to try lots of attacks. But he just went for the big pass, and that wasn't on. But we won that game 1-0, so there's a Captain Gonzalez, and the players are congratulating each other because that was actually a really good game. We played well, just played the normal Wigan stuff. And what I wanted to do now is I wanted to show you all of the game face players. So you saw Tavernier, Segrist, NILE Ranger, the new signing. Who else have we got? Rajkovic, the defender, alongside Gonzalez. We've got Perch, he's like the Glenn Johnson of the team. Park Ji-young, the cheap free agent signing from Arsenal. Wilson Palacios, the legend, returning. Who else have we got? David Myler, one of our other new signings, just a big beast in midfield. Lualua, probably the best winger in the team. Daniel Johnson, I mentioned him earlier, he's the young midfielder. Joan Hartog, sub-goalkeeper. Omar Gonzalez, the captain of the team, he's the leader. D'Alfonso, the very fast player I talked about before. Craig Dawson, just a good defender, someone to bring on. Berahino, the striker that needs to prove a point. And the player of the season, Leandro Bacuna. So, we bring you to our next game. Who are we playing? This is the first game of the Premier League. So now we're playing the Premier League. We're playing at home, so that's always a good thing. We're playing QPR. They're playing their red kit. There's Captain Gonzalez, he's going to be leading this team out to play in the Premier League for the first time. He really does deserve a move to Europe and, a good club, I think. He just deserves it. But in the 11th minute, they give away a penalty and they have a little bit of a pushing match. And it was the left back, Yoon. Yeah, there we are, Yoon Suk Young. He's a good left back, and he just manages to bowl over David Myler. And David's a big lad, he's 6'2", that's why I bought him, because I wanted to beef up in the midfield. So I was quite shocked to see him get tackled like that so easily. Bacuna with the good penalty, and I've always had him on penalties, just throughout last season he took quite a few good ones, and there we are, so celebrating as you would. This is our first goal in the Premier League in how long? A couple of seasons, yeah. So it's always good to be back in the Premier League making a good impact. So this is what I wanted to do. Fokkerball, the fullback's got to come forward, take crosses, and look who's on the end of it again. Bacuna, the player of the season. I had been playing him in like a defensive mid, or in the middle of that midfield trio, and I think it's worked, even though he is a right back, Bacuna this is. And you see that cross again, on the end of it, Good leap there. You know, he didn't need to leap because he's, you know, quite a tall guy. But, you know, he's just the all-round figure. You know, all of his physical stats and skill stats are either yellow or green. So that's something that doesn't happen a lot. That's the first time that's happened to me in a career mode. Tavernier with the cut inside, and he's found McManaman in a bit of space. He's going to low cross. And a good goal for Berahino in the 37th minute. So it's 3-0. And I'm just going to show you that replay again because the defence was shocking. You know, I tell you now, I don't use sliders. But it's just some things you notice in this game. The goalkeepers can have howlers. You know, they can do really bad sometimes. And the defence can be, you know, it's really weird. You know, you notice these things. You know what I'm talking about when you play a game like this. Defenders and goalkeepers, they're a bit weird, aren't they? They stuff up sometimes. But we won that game 3-0, which is a good first result for us, isn't it? But we decided to loan out Lee Nichols. And I know he's a very good goalkeeper, but I think we've still got Ali Al-Habsi, who I want to use for a good couple of seasons, and then when Lee Nichols comes back, he'll be at least 70, 75. James McLean, if you're a big fan of James McLean, then sorry, but I know he was a good player of the last season, and I just didn't enjoy using him, and likewise with James MacArthur, who I hardly use. That's why he's very unhappy, and I know he's a Wigan player. He's been the Wigan player for a long time, but it's a career mode. You just got to enjoy the players that you're using. You got to enjoy all 11 players that you're using. That's the whole point. You got to mould your team to how you want it. And I just didn't enjoy using MacArthur or McLean. And look at this. I inquired for this guy, Alassani, and he is $0 in value, $0. So I decided, yeah, I'll sign him up straight away. And I also signed up a free agent, Jonathan Fort. He's from Barbados. He'll be like the next, what's his name, Emerson Boyce. And we also signed up Alassani. So that's pretty good. 2 good deals for youth players. We loaned out Abbas Rabaud for a season loan, and we signed Sheldon Batau with Juan Carlos Garcia. You know, just another good player, like for football. And we also signed Marcus Alonso. Now, if you're a bit confused about how the team's shaping up, don't worry, because we'll get there soon. We've also signed the next Mark Van Bommel, a very cheap signing, 2.5 million. He was actually worth 3.5 from New England. And he just, yeah, as I said, he reminds me of the next Mark Van Bommel, even though he's 33 years old. He's about to retire, but he just looks quite scary on the field, doesn't he? I've given him the Van Bommel look, you know, just the tucked in long sleeves, high socks, and he's going to get involved straight away in this match. You know, I just put him straight in the team. So here he is against Yours Akore, and you can see him trying to tackle, and he just bowls him over. And it is a bad tackle. I don't condone slide tackles like that. I hate seeing them in the game, but he's a beast, Jermaine Jones, and don't worry, Yours was alright. He was alright with that. He got straightened up, which was good. But they scored a cracker, didn't they? So this is Nathan D'Alfonso's old club, and you know, he didn't make a big impact, but he's going to have a bit of an impact in this game. And then at the end of the half, you'll see I'm making a couple of changes. So Gobern's going to be playing a left back, just because, you know, we didn't have to defend a lot, but I just wanted to put someone in there just for the sake of giving someone a bit of a turn. And Alonso, our new left back from Spain, he used to play for Bolton and a couple of other teams. I think he used to play for Sunderland as well for a couple of seasons. Here's our new football signing. That was Batao on the right back position, or Batao, I'm not really sure how to say that. No, Ranger loves to come back, doesn't he? That's all good. But then look at this, D'Alfonso, as I mentioned earlier, what a cracker. That's quite a ferocious goal. You'll see the power behind it, but that was actually a really good goal because it meant that the final score was 1-1. We haven't lost a single game in Premier League. We've only had 2 games, but we haven't lost. So that was a good thing. A season loan for Pedro Azog, I think that's how you say it, MK Dons, and now we've got a sim game against Crystal Palace. So yeah, maybe as I promised, you know, we would have about 4 or 5 games in each episode, but we lost that game. Damn it, Crystal Palace. But as I said, you know, we've got some transfer business, and the deadline day will end. Look how much has been spent in the last day. And we have one email. Let's have a look, see what it is. It's a transfer offer for Josh Meekings, a short-term loan, which in the end I accepted. I didn't want to sell him. I didn't want to have him away from the club too long. So that's why I gave him a short-term loan, because 68 and a good player. Benjamin Segrist will go out on loan as well. 23 years old, 64. I just needed someone else to take him and just help him improve. And if you are unsure about how the team shapes up or who's in my team, don't worry, I will show you at the start of the next roundup. So that comes to the end to our second roundup for this season. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!